We are live. Welcome to the window to our mind, number 5. How are you, Cole?
Pretty good. Hope you all been doing well.
That's good news. I am doing very well. What about you, DC? How are you today?
Doing pretty well. Same as Cole, so I'm doing really well.
The panel is all happy. What about you, Gray? How are you today?
Well, I guess I'll be contrarian. Everything sucks. No, everything's great, man. It's always awesome to be here. I'm glad DC and Cole are having a pretty good week. I think the last time we were all together, they were saying that things weren't going so great. So, hell yeah, that sounds like an awesome thing. You know, incremental improvement.
Yeah. So before we really get into it, there's two things. The first one, it's something I forgot to mention last week. 2 weeks ago, we covered red pillars, and I asked the panel what were your like what you're looking for and your standard and stuff. I really wanted to make something clear right now. When I said what are you looking for, that wasn't necessarily standard. Like it came across as what are your standards for a woman, but that wasn't really the case. I wanted to make that more gray, if you know what I mean, gray. um it wasn't standard. Do you remember the thought we had about the red pillars by the end of the stream?
Yeah, I do remember, and LG kind of participated in that as well, where we were just kind of saying, like, what are kind of things that would interest us. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily like
A
standards
standard,
or
yeah.
what looks are you looking for in a
Yeah.
female. I don't know. I get it. I think in context it made sense, but yeah, I guess anything could be offensive in retrospect.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is out of the way. Now today we are talking about becoming physically healthy and making a diet. And
Ugh.
the biggest reason why I wanted to bring this up as one of the topics, it's because it's in the first pillar of our podcast, which is health, physical and mental. Um, that's the first reason. The second reason is I want to give people tool. I want to show people like, yes, we will debunk, we will talk about stuff, and we will say how some of the things are wrong. And I like to bring some tools so people can solve what's wrong. And I think in a society that has a lot of fat people, let's be honest, I'm one of them. I'm not shaming them. I'm just saying that it's an issue, and to say, oh, it's not. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist. It doesn't solve it doesn't solve anything, and this is why today is the day we talk about becoming physically healthy and making a diet. Now, I will speak a lot by personal experience because now at that point I'm week number 8 into a diet myself, and
Nice.
I lost 20 pounds. And
Hell yeah.
this is
That's not
hard.
bad.
This is,
Yeah, well, I mean, like they kind of say for like long-term weight loss, like a pound a week is decent. So, hell, to be like over double that is quite awesome, man.
it's
Hell yeah.
it's hard, man. It's so hard. I basically have answered one of the question already, but this is talking by experience right now, and I know this is challenging. Working on yourself is always really hard, um whether it's physically or mentally. So with that being said, I will ask the four questions. The first one being, did you ever worked out outside or in a gym? If you did, why did you work out? What made you worked out? So I will ask uh, Cole first, I guess, because he's our lovely guest.
Sorry, what was the question again? My
Okay, the
connection was
question
lagging
is,
there.
it has like two floors. So floor number one, did you ever worked out outside or in a gym?
Yes, I have. I think. I mean, everybody has at least one point. I'd be surprised not to. they haven't, obviously. And it's also something they kind of made mandatory in schools, at least, where I'm from. So, yeah, for sure. And I've, been to gyms. I just, don't have the money for it. So, it's not really a regular thing. So, I usually just work out at home and do just like mainly just basic workouts, and then just focus mainly on the diet stuff.
Very interesting. So now the second floor of the question: why did you work out? What made you work out?
Well, of course, my health. Mean, uh, for a while it hasn't been the best, and it used to be pretty healthy. Like I used to run, cross countries and stuff, like marathon things and races, and I used to get like top 10 out of 500 people or 1,000 people. When I was like younger, like I would say like 10 and 11 and such. So, I used to be at a certain point, but I think it was like there was a certain point where, because we talked about a lot of like depression and such, and I think then that's I kind of just felt like lazy, like not lazy in the sense of like I don't want to work out because I've always enjoyed working out. I actually thought I got enjoyment out of it, but just not having like the motivation to do it though, like to not just do that, but just do anything, even like playing video games. I didn't have the motivation for, and I would then just sit there and instead just eat. And then there are many other times where I tried to do so, at an earlier point, but I got it's a little personal, but yeah, just mainly depression, and there got some like I guess condescending remarks over me trying to do so in my past situation when I was younger, when I still when I didn't live on my own. So, and that just like made me in my mind purposely not. But yeah, now years passed, and yeah, that's basically why.
That's very interesting, and I already connect some dots without going too deep into details. So next on the line, Marvel, did you ever worked out inside in a gym or outside? Anyway, did you ever worked out at all, DC?
No, I have never worked out. The closest was just when I do exercise, outside when I go for a run. That's like the closest, but
I
yeah.
think that is technically working out though.
Yeah, this is working out.
Mm.
So when you go outside for a run, what drives you to do that run?
Like getting faster, but really it's just to be in the best mental shape at best. That's like my main reason.
That's always a really good reason. Um, what about you, Guri?
Yeah, I've gone through like a bunch of stints where I did work out quite excessively, and then yeah, kind of like Cole was saying, I kind of fell into like bouts of depression, and the more you don't do something, the easier it is to just continue not doing it. It's really easy to break a habit. But yeah, like when I was in high school, I was doing a bunch of different sports. I lettered in like football, hockey, and lacrosse, and then I was also doing like a few club sports that didn't count towards that type of thing, like rugby and everything, and wrestling. So yeah, I was in the gym quite a bit there. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. It was just like kind of, everyone was just competing, like trying to impress each other or whatever, trying to one up each other. So I'm surprised like none of us got hurt, but yeah, I've always enjoyed it. And then kind of when I graduated from high school, like I played a little bit of club hockey or I guess rec hockey, but yeah, I basically just kind of quit doing sports, and then I quit working out. And yeah, after like a decade and like severe bouts of depression, I just realized, like I have to do something. So I don't know. I had a kick where I was going to the gym and like had kind of a running thing going. I'd never really been into running. I'd always been a bit heavier, like in football and stuff. I was always a lineman, so I don't know. Running was never the easiest for me. I was never light on my feet, so to speak. But yeah, I kind of started taking that up a few years ago, and I don't know. I felt like I was doing pretty good and getting in pretty good physical shape, and then yeah, just stopped doing it again and hit like a major wall of depression. And then yeah, finally when I got out of that one, which was like deep and dark, I realized, I'd done like a bunch of damage to my body. Like I don't know, kind of like Cole was saying, like it's just easy to do nothing when you just feel like shit, like you
Yeah,
have no
and
motivation to
my
do
knee's
anything.
completely screwed because of that as well.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know, you get like a little bit of comfort, a little bit of like whatever serotonin from just like shoving something easy and non-nutritious in your face. Like it's not like, the best thing for depression is salad or anything like that. Like you kind of go with something a little bit worse for you. So finally after I kind of dealt with that mental space, it was like, okay, I gotta get in shape again. And I'm currently still on that journey, but yeah, I didn't really have any equipment in my house or anything like that, so I just bought a big heavy kettlebell, and yeah, I started working with that, and that really helped, like getting into like kettlebell swings, and then you can do different, like hander, excuse me, a hammer like upside down hold. There's a bunch of like really cool shit you can do with a kettlebell. So that kind of got me going, and then I ended up getting a dog, and it's like, okay, I got to take him out twice a day. So that really helped, and then I started walking him for distance. So like all of that really helped, and then I realized, hey, these walks you could do way more with that. Like, why not wear like a weighted backpack while you're doing it? So it's called rucking. But anyway, I got up to like 90 pounds rucking, which is I don't know, intense. And yeah, it just I realized I was kind of walking with a weird lean because there's like 90 pounds hanging off my back. So I switched to like a weighted vest, and then I ended up actually getting this awesome like power rack from my cousin. And yeah, for like the last year, I've just been just really lifting weights and really enjoying it. Probably for the first time in my life. I wish I had known what the hell I was doing back in high school because I think I would have really enjoyed it. But instead, it was just like, how much can you bench? And then everyone just going as hard as they could. And it wasn't enjoyable. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it lately. And yeah, it's helping me on my current journey.
Very interesting. Thank you a lot for sharing. Now, my personal experience with working out is interesting, I think. So I was maybe 18, 19 years old. So that's a long time ago now. So back then I wanted to become a cop. And here
It all
in
makes
Quebec,
sense now.
in Quebec, Canada, it's a bit harder than in the USA. Well, I don't know the detail about the USA. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but here in Quebec, Canada, we basically need to go through a 3 years course at college, and on top of that, we need to
It's
do
not that tough here.
on top of that, we need to do 6 months on police school on top of the 3 years of college. So this is a long process, and you need to be good at school because these 3 years at college, it's basically they are picking like the best students, and I was a bad student. So that I still believe that if I was in shape, I could get into it because in Canada there's also the Royal Cup something. I can't remember how it's named in English, but it's basically like the FBI but for Canada. And then it's also quite challenging. It's not as hard as in Quebec, but you still need to go through training. You still have like police school and stuff. And just to get into it, you need to pass physical test and mental test, like bunch of stuff. And then if you pass every test with a certain grade, then you can get into that special cops like that FBI from Canada. Um, so I was like, okay, maybe I cannot be a cop in Quebec, but I can be one of these elite cop, if we can call it that way. So I decided I'd work out. So that was like the foundation of me working out. And at some point, I realized I'm colorblind. I always knew I was colorblind, but I didn't know it would factor in me being able to be a cop. Because when you're a cop, you cannot carry a firearm, at least in Canada, if you're colorblind. So this was a roadblock. I realized, oh crap, I will never be able to become a cop because of that shit. Anyway, I still kept training for around a year, and then um, I at that time I had a girlfriend and all, and um, she kind of was a focus on my life outside of school because I was also going at school at that time. And when she dumped me after a very toxic relationship, we were both in the wrong there. After she dumped me, I fell in depression because I was really like, I cared a lot for that person. And I felt betrayed because that person also cheated on me. Uh, so that was messy. And I decided I'd stop working out because working out would remind me of her. That's kind of the wrong approach, but hey, we do stupid shit all the time. And with retrospect, that wound kind of healed today, so I will get back at working out eventually without thinking of that toxic relationship I had. Um, anyway, I did work out because I wanted to be a cop, but then because I wanted to be LT, and then I stopped. And here we are, uh, 8, 9 years later. Uh, I'm fat again. um, so yeah, okay. Um, next up would be: did you ever went into a diet? Starting with Cole. There's a second floor to the question.
Yeah, I've been on many diets before. Some of them are healthy that are more for the long term. Other ones not so healthy that are more short term. I also tried like a lot of weird diets, such as the military diet, where you eat a small amount of certain foods for 3 days and you can lose like 10 pounds in all those 3 days. I tried that for a little bit. I even just tried fasting. Many different things, and it would not be consistent though, and it's not because of like I would say hunger or anything. Like honestly, like after like a day of doing it, like I don't really care about like eating junk food or anything anymore. I mean to be completely honest. So even today, or even like throughout all those years, I didn't even really like junk food. I actually kind of like fruits and vegetables more than junk food, but it's just easier to put in your mouth. It's just got to the point though where I did it for so long, it became a habit. So then it's like I would wake up and then just eat a bunch of shit and completely forgetting that I'm on a fucking trying to do a diet. And but I mean, there were points where I would say like 2 times where I did then like kind of lose all the weight, but then because of depression, I gained it back again at a certain point. So that sucks, but
Okay, so you kind of answered a bit the second floor of that question already, but the second floor would be like, what did you cut in what you were eating? What did you do exactly in your diet?
yeah. Well, I tried cutting. I would say a lot of bread, um, and then the other thing is I ate a lot of I put a lot of like I guess mayo on things. I used to like dip my fries in that all the time and such, and that's something that's really not healthy for you. So I cut that out. And this is just talking about like now, but this is also back then as well when I tried to. Then I cut caffeine out because yeah, for years and years it's like I would drink like fucking 6 cups a day and shit, and it would really affect me. And of how much you drink, then it's like it just makes you like feel worse and tired if anything, instead of energized. Like not drinking caffeine and just working out and like eating an apple or something is like better, makes you more energized. So yeah, I cut all that out, and then of course, the other basic things like, but I mean, a lot of them were pretty basic to cut out though. Like again, I would say like stuff like chocolate and everything. It's like I never really liked it anyway, so it was easy. Like I would say the only sort of like unhealthy food that was hard to cut out was just popcorn because I watch a lot of movies and I go to the theaters a lot. I used to always get that with butter and I also was like given tips by people saying like you should like keep a bag of popcorn though if like it so you're not hungry all the time like if you feel hungry then you just pick that up and just like take a handful and then put it back down. But it's like if I ever tried to do that though then I would like accidentally eat the whole thing in 5 minutes without realizing. So yeah, no, but yeah.
Very interesting. Coming next, DC. Did you ever went into a diet?
Yes, I've tried doing that multiple times. They never actually worked. So, as for the second part, what I try to do is I try to strict more on the unhealthy things I ate and focus more on the healthy stuff. But like you said, it is a challenge because you got to overcome it, and you got to overcome that love that you have for one specific unhealthy food. And honestly, I failed at doing it multiple times. Like I'd say ever since 2020, I tried going on a diet, and I consistently kept failing because instead of focusing on like the healthy kind of food like fruits, and I kept having like some unhealthy kind of food as well, like chips, popcorn, burgers, and those kind of things. But yeah.
I see. You see, this is really hard. You really want to put your mind to it, and I will talk about that once it's my turn to speak about that response. Great. What about you? Did you ever went into a diet?
Yeah. So yeah, I've done like every diet there is out there. I think I was originally put on a diet when I was like 8 or 9. I don't know. So my mom has always been like crazy about food and like always thought that she had like the healthiest diet food. Like when I was a kid, it was like those snack wells things. It might be a little bit before your guys' time, but it was during the whole like low fat craze. So what they did is just threw a whole bunch more sugar and shit. But like they would sell like these Snackwells cookies that were supposed to be so much better than like regular things. Same thing with like I don't know. There were a bunch of frozen dinners that were kind of the same type of deal. I think that's where like lean cuisine and all those come from. But yeah, so I don't know. She tried to do things that were like healthy of the time, but I don't know. She did a whole bunch of like crazy fad diets. And then, yeah, my dad was also into like health or whatever. And he had kind of gained weight since he quit playing like sports in college. So, yeah, it seems like, and my parents were divorced. So it seemed like I would always be on like one diet at one house. And then, like, when I'd switch for the week or whatever, then I'd be on a different diet at a different house. But they were both like trying diets, but it's, usually my dad was like low carb and my mom was like low fat, so it was just chaos. But yeah, none of those were really successful or anything like that. I don't know. I never really had my heart in it, and it's always different. So my brother has like the best metabolism in the world. Dude like never works out, eats nothing but junk food, and he's just like ripped. But so like he was never on a diet or anything. So it would be weird. Like they would always have like the junk food in the house, and it was like always like this is for him, but yeah, it's not for you. So I don't know. I went through a lot of diets like when I was a kid, which totally messed me up. I definitely do have food addiction issues. Like I don't know. I can't moderate. Like there are people that can moderate, but kind of like Cole was talking about, like if I have like that package of popcorn or whatever in front of me, like it's gone. Like it's an issue. But I've learned that I can totally just you know completely remove myself from it. Like it's no big deal. Like I can't moderate, but I can abstain. Like it's not a big deal. But yeah, I've done like every kind of diet in my adult life, and like everyone is successful. It is, like a simple calculation, like calories in, calories out. But yeah, it's just kind of what can you stick with. So I finally found a few that I could stick with, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be different for each person. Like, I know my mom could never do like a low carb, like high protein thing. Like, she just kind of hates eating animals. So for her, it's like vegan, and that's totally worked out for her. Like, she's maintained like a healthy weight or whatever for like her life. She doesn't seem to have like low bone mass or anything like that. But I can't do anything like that. Like if I'm just eating like nothing but vegetables, I'm just hungry all the time. And then also with trying to lift, I just feel like it gives me like zero energy. So personally for me, I've found like extremely high protein and then no processed food seems to be where I'm best. And it just seems to make me happy. And I just feel physically, mentally, everything like at my peak. So I don't know. That's kind of where I go. For a while, I did like straight up carnivore, and that's a little too hardcore. Um, yeah, I like having a little bit of vegetables in there, but yeah, I'm fine without the processed food.
So this is very interesting. Um, I will go on a small tangent before I move on with my response to that. Um, a parent's first instinct, and I can relate that to what you told me and what I experienced as a child, and um, I can see it through my half brother as well because we have the same mother. Um, the parent's first instinct is like, let's cut off food so they won't be tempted by it. But there's the thing: the moment the kid will go outside of your house, he will find the food you cut him off by himself, and this is actually worse than you letting that kid having, for example, a piece of cake or a candy or something, because you cannot control that. um like when you have a kid, I think the best way to do it is you buy like junk food here and there, not always, because you got to teach them the risk, but that's the nuance as well. You need to teach them the risk of eating unhealthy food. And I feel like if my parents were not that focused on like, you will be slim, I won't blame them, but that's just me saying that maybe, just maybe, think another way when you raise your kids. Expose them to the bad food, but tell them it's bad, and ration them and tell them why you ration them, why you cut the amount. Because if you never give them McDonald's, eventually they will still find McDonald's, and because you didn't really expose them to that, it will be out of your control. It's just some answers out there. Now, um, you still need to explain them and control the ration and stuff. But if you completely cut off something, I'm telling you, the kid will still find a way to eat whatever they want because they are kids and they are smart. Um, anyway, that's my small tangent there. Um, me, I am currently on a diet, as I mentioned in the intro, and basically I went gradually to cut stuff off because I know I have a lot of unhealthy food, or I should say, I used to have a lot of unhealthy food. So, week 1 and 2, I did cut the pizza and the beer. Now, I was eating pizza and I was drinking beer on my weekends. And I've been doing it for years now. So that's really bad. Even if it's just on weekends, it's still junk food. Beer still slow down your metabolism and that kind of stuff. It's like
Yeah,
after my
beer is really bad for late weight loss.
yeah, like eventually once I get fit, I feel like these pizza and beers, they will come back, but only at a really small amount, like
Yeah, well, just
once a
you can do
month.
like once. You could do it like once a week still if you just work
No,
out a
no,
lot.
no,
It can be like
no.
a
I
cheat day. It can be a
I
cheat day.
I won't do that once a week. Like if I get back at it, I will do it like once a month to be careful with that, to not fall
Okay, fair enough.
in the bad behavior. So this is what I caught for the first 2 weeks. So week 3 and 4, I did cut the sugar because I was eating a lot of sugar, like chocolate, like um, even like um, what comes to mind? Yeah, chocolate. Chocolate is like the
Do
perfect
you drink
example.
coffee at all? Do you put a lot of sugar in coffee? Because that really fucked me up.
I don't drink coffee. I ate the
Okay, well,
smell and
that's
the
good.
taste. I
Sacrilege,
tried.
man.
I tried many times. I just ate this drink. I'd rather drink tea, and when I get tea, I don't add sugar. Like it's rare you'll see me adding sugar or salt to something.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna add something like that, I mean, honey's a good alternative. Or if you're making like healthy smoothies, you could add dates.
Yeah. So yeah, the second thing I did cut was sugar. And this is the hardest thing to cut, bro. this is this is so hard because sugar is something we don't realize we consume because it's like in almost everything and everywhere. It's so challenging. Sugar is the worst drug out there. I said it. Um, and week um 5 and 6. So it's been like now 4 weeks that I'm doing that, but 5 and 6, I cut the portions. So basically, now what I'm doing is I eat a banana in the morning as my breakfast, and then I don't eat the entire day. And then, like a few hours before I go to sleep, I eat a complete meal. Um, that's what I'm doing. So basically, instead of having like breakfast, lunch, dinner, I have breakfast, dinner. That's it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I usually skip breakfast. Like, to be honest, a lot of people say like, you should eat breakfast. It like helps your brain activity and everything. That's what when you're younger, definitely do so because it helps like brain activity while you're throughout the day. But after you become an adult, it's really not. Like honestly, you can skip breakfast and be just fine. Really, lunch and dinner, I would say.
yeah, but I lost like 10 pound just by doing like for 4 weeks like just uh banana
Nice.
and so in total so far I lost 20 pounds. And
That's good. Like I'd say I had a similar result because I weighed so fucking much at one point where the moment I started, I lost like 20 pounds right off the bat just by doing the most basic exercises and cutting food out.
and the very sad part in all of that, I work in a hotel, and the food there is peak food. I like it so much, but it's not healthy food. And when they offer me a plate, it's so hard to say no. Like I say
Do
no
they
to
have like a
dessert.
salad bar?
Well, actually, this is during the day, but I work overnight, so it's basically full plate, like meal and that kind of stuff.
Uh,
Um,
well,
and
I
they,
mean, you should definitely like look to see if any of it's like healthy. Like I know though, like even foods you might think are healthy, such as fried fish or salads with like dressing on it, can be as even more unhealthy than like a cheeseburger. So you have to be careful. But I mean, stuff like regular grilled fish and just
yeah.
vegetables, if they have anything like that, you could probably eat that.
Well, that's the thing. As I said, I work overnight, so when I get offered a plate, it's out of my control. It's in the control of the chef, like the chief in the kitchen. He's basically making food for the employees. Um, and sometimes they offer me dessert, and now I'm like, no, I just cannot eat dessert. I admit I did eat I wanted to taste something new, and that was great, but then they offered me a donut and I was like, no, I can't. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, it's
I mean, I think that's one another difficulty as well, though. Especially if you like move to a new country, it's like there's so many new foods, and it's like you kind of want to try it all, but it's
yeah.
like you have to hold on.
You gotta resist, bro. So that's the struggle. And I'm someone that really want to be better, and the best way to do it is to have a better body. Um, Now I will admit my sleep was hectic in the last few months, but I think it's mostly because of my night job and the fact that on my weekend I'm basically dying on my couch because I basically work my entire week in the weekend. Um, but yeah, my sleep, when I get sleep, it's actually better since I started the diet. Granted, sometimes I do need my sleeping pills. Like yesterday, I was like, I won't take any chance. I want to be in shape. I want to be. I want to have energy today. So I decided to take my sleeping pills. That sleep felt amazing, amazing. Anyway, that's it for the tangent. Going in a diet is challenging, and it's normal. Right now, I'm freaking hungry, but I ate my banana, and my next meal is around like 9 or 10 p.m. tonight. But that's part of the struggle. If you want to get better, no pain, no gain, as we say. If you want to get better, you will suffer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious though, because you talked about like your diet thing. Has there? Did you ever go through like a moment where, because this is something that I've been through for years, where you kind of like cut breakfast and lunch, and then you think you're like super healthy, but then it's like for dinner you just like eat so much, like just shitloads of like pasta and everything, and then it just like equals out to being just as unhealthy. Because I know I went through that like phase a lot for years.
um, I think when I set my mind to answer your question properly, no, it didn't happen to me. But
Okay.
the way I see it, I'm someone that must work hard to be disciplined, to be in control. And when I'm in control, man, my mind is at it. Like I'm focused. I have a goal. I want to hit that goal. That's all I am. But I need to set myself the goal. So I'm someone, usually in general I'm lazy, and that's one of my biggest sin. But once I have a goal set, laziness just vanish. It's no longer a thing for me. So when I say I have that diet, I try my best to respect it. I mentioned that because I work in the hotel, and the hotel, obviously, I cannot do that anymore. Like on the weekend, I eat like crap, but the rest of the week, like 4 day a week, because I only work 3 days, 4 day a week,
Yeah,
I follow my diet because I
fair
can,
enough.
and there's nothing to tempt me. I say
Yeah, well,
that,
I
and
mean,
it's
I will say though, I think like you telling everybody, sort of like me and everybody else that you're doing it will give you more motivation, because then it's like if a year goes by and you're still at this point, it's like that. That's one thing they do in Japan a lot, and they also and each person who's actually like over a certain weight there, it goes towards like a penalty in the monies in the country's like tax money or something. So they really try to influence people there to lose weight because of that.
yeah. And the fun fact, I said, there's no temptation, but there's actually a bunch of temptation, because sometimes my grandma just drop by. She knows I'm on a diet, and she is worried because she's like, "You don't look healthy." I'm like, I'm like 60 pounds over my right weight, and it's not healthy. It's like she brings candy, she brings all sorts of things, and the temptation. I have like three cookie and two chocolate milk waiting for me, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's my task. It's my challenge. Do not look at them. Do not
Yeah,
touch them.
Jesus. I'd say went through similar things as well. It's like people know I'm like trying to do one, but then they still do that shit, and it's kind of annoying. Like I know they don't mean harm, but goddamn, but that's the other thing. Yeah,
I
milk
don't know. On a subconscious level, they have to know they're sabotaging you, though. Like they
I mean,
have to know.
it depends on the person, but I
Yeah,
would
it depends
say,
on the person. Cole is right on that.
but
I can see the point of Gray, because I can see people doing it. Like some people are jealous and they spread stuff, or they go against what you're trying to do. But I know it's not the case with my grandma, because my grandma is the most gentle person I know, and
mhm.
she is just amazing.
Yeah, they just want you to be happy, and they might not understand that. And I think that's like also something you go through yourself, where it's just like, well, I'm just going to do what me happy. I can quit anytime. It's like, okay, and then you realize you can't. But yeah, and also you brought up like the milk thing, just as a quick tidbit. I know this is possibly more subjective. That's another thing as well that I think is good to cut from. I think just drinking milk is really horrible. Like when you're like younger, it's good because it obviously helps you with a lot of things. But as an adult or even like a teen and such, just drinking like glasses of milk, it's like people still try to say it's healthy because it's calcium. But when you're like an adult and such, you don't actually need it. And secondly, you can get it from other foods and
yeah,
drinks, and also you're probably going to get it in other things throughout the day anyway, whether that's like in a smoothie or just anything else, like a meal that might have some milk in it. And just drinking like pure glasses of milk with like the other things in it as an adult, like that can be pretty bad for you. It's like it's not good. And there's also like other different types of milk, like vegan milk, that's actually pretty bad as well. Like the one I would recommend the most is not all of them, but certain brands of almond milk are super healthy. I'd recommend that, but there's other ones where it's like, yeah, I'd say they're just as bad as milk. But yeah, just a little tidbit there, I guess, for that, because I think that's something that people still try to deny because, and this all started because of the media. They're the ones who falsely like promoted that drinking just glasses of cow milk, even as an adult, is completely healthy, and they're the ones who did it with bacon and all other meats, where it's like, no, it's not. And this whole thing started because of the media and their like false thing, like meat is for men, where it's like, if you actually look back then, like all the fucking gladiators and everybody back then, they were eating almost just vegetables and everything, and that's how they got their strength and everything. And there's a good documentary, The Game Changers, on it. But yeah, like that's how they where they got it from. And people are like, well, how are you going to supposed to get enough protein if you don't eat meat? It's like, number one, you can get it from other foods, not meat. But secondly, all right, most of the planet doesn't eat meat because they're poor, and yet they're like the healthiest, leanest people. So it's like, this is just, it's media and stupidity.
and I will add a bit more because we will go on a small tangent there. I'm uh, spending lots of time on Facebook. I see a lot of video from a lot of different sources because I'm someone curious that likes to watch a bunch of stuff when I'm not watching movies or TV shows. I just scroll down my Facebook feed and I find lots of videos. And one time I actually found a video very interesting talking about Stephen Amell diet. Now, some of you may not know Stephen Amell, but for those who don't know who Stephen Amell is, he was the main actor in Arrow. He was Oliver Queen for like 8 years, and the guy was big. Um, yes, makeup did work, but there's a lot of his like Facebook page and other media like Twitter and stuff where you get to see him training, and he was really in shape even outside of like the show, and the show makes it like more evident, but even like in real life he is someone healthy and in shape. And that video I found was talking about his diet he went into, and in his diet he didn't add lactose like milk and stuff. That wasn't part of his diet. You know what else wasn't part of the diet? Gluten, which is something you can find in bread and stuff. And I've seen, I can't remember if that was the same video or another video, but I've seen somewhere that gluten and lactose are really bad for your body.
Yeah,
And
especially wheat, whole wheat bread, because it's like it's not even real wheat anymore. What they make, it's super unhealthy.
yeah, and the explanation of that is these intolerant people, they see lactose and gluten as that intruder in the system that can be like a parasite and just eat up your energy and stuff, so your body fights it, so it wants it out. And this is why we got intolerant people. It's because their body are more evolved than the regular body, and they detect better these intruders, which is fascinating, and it makes sense, and it's very interesting. Just saying. um so yeah, gluten bad, lactose bad.
Yeah, and
Well, I mean, when you think about milk, like it's designed to fatten up a baby cow. Like, I don't know. Why would
yeah,
that be healthy?
Yeah,
yeah. It's like when you're a kid, okay, but after that, I don't. It's not really healthy to drink afterwards, and
like if
yeah,
you really like the taste, try the almond, or I can't remember, the
yeah.
soy, or
Well,
all
I
these
think
other ways.
I think like I don't know if it was like soy or like oat or whatever it was. It might have even been like some brands of almond, but I definitely know some of them are also unhealthy. So definitely do your research. But
Yeah,
others, yeah, definitely amazing substitutes for it and everything. Especially getting the unsweetened kinds.
and I will add more. If you really like calcium and you really want calcium, uh, sea fruits. They have a lot of calcium.
Yeah, and just also eating just a lot of like oats, hemp hearts, nuts, other seeds, like protein bars, helps as well. But there's a lot of things you can get from it. But also the other thing, a lot of people have been bitching like with stuff like Beyond Meat recently, like saying it's not healthy. What the fuck? And it's like, okay, it's like these people miss the point of it. It's like again, stuff like Beyond Meat burgers and everything. Their purpose isn't to be healthy. It is healthier than the actual meat, at least most of them. Some of them, it's the same, especially if, with the sodium in some of them. So definitely, it depends on the person. But either way, it's not there to be healthy. It's just there to give people a substitute who want to switch away from meat, so then they can still eat it, and it's so then it's easier to switch over. Also, because the amount of like water and everything, and meat uh, production causes and waste is extreme, and yeah, compared to just like making a Beyond Meat burger, it's like it uses no water, but you just making
That's
like one single
actually,
meat
there's
patty
been a
is.
bunch of reports that kind of show that that's not actually the case. It especially depends on
Oh,
how you
really?
raise the beef. But there's a bunch of added
Really?
chemicals, and it's a bunch of weird processes that you're putting the, plant material through to get the end product.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. It
I
just
mean,
seems like you could totally get
I
it a better
definitely,
way than that weird thing.
I agree, and I mean, again, like as I said, there's definitely some of them. Like again, I didn't mention Impossible because that's the one with the chemicals. So again, that's why just like with the almond milk, you have to do your research. But and again, you're not healthy either. I'm just saying that isn't the point. Like again, you want to be healthy, eat a salad, and the other things we talked about. That's not what the Beyond thing is for. But as for the water thing, yeah, with certain ones, yeah, it doesn't, as much as like some people and like vegans claim. But there's definitely a good chunk of those like meat factories and everything that use shitloads of water, and the more you buy, the more you're going to keep promoting it for them to keep doing it. So
and
Yeah.
and
Well, any of the factory farming sucks, whether it's animals or,
yeah, it's like
soy. Like it's
you can
horrible
make
for the environment.
yeah, it's like you can make like I forgot the research that was done for it. I know this one YouTuber I watched, like Mark Rober, did it, but it's like the amount of water it takes to make one meat patty. You could have you can make it with the same amount, like 100 peanut butter sandwiches, and one of those gives you the same amount of protein for the most part than that. So
I don't know. It just depends. It's somewhat deceptive. So, like in America,
I
so
mean, it depends.
you should totally
of course,
look into this thing called regenerative farming, but in like the grasslands, like where
again,
they're
I just
like
mean
growing,
like
and a
really
lot of
bad,
Canada
like,
too.
big
Like the water,
farms,
I know, but like
factories.
it's natural water that goes in the water cycle, so it is rained down, and it's not like any crops can grow in that place. So it's not like you're just like taking this water out of everywhere. It is kind of in the natural thing. You just
Of
collect it, and
course,
then you
but
can let them
I'm talking about like the
feed
big
off it.
factories who
But I
really
understand what
waste
you're
it,
saying. But
yeah, stuff like those farms. No,
but
that's
the other
good,
thing
and we
is
need
like,
more of those. Yeah.
yeah, but it still goes through like the water cycle. So like then the cows, like they piss it out, it goes back into part of the cycle. So it's not like that water is like forever lost or anything like that.
Of
I
course
don't
not.
know. I looked into it. Also, a lot of the claims in that Game Changers documentary, it seems just as propagandistic as like the carnivore thing.
Well, okay. The
So
reason.
there's a lot of claims that actually are not accurate in there, and then a lot of
Okay,
the
well,
athletes
this
that they
is what I'm
put
going to
up,
say
like
about
they,
that Game Changers documentary. Okay, there are a couple things like outside of just what they're talking about with like the food and health that when they're talking about the environment, which isn't completely confirmed, and that's why I kind of like swept that away. I'm not really interested in that stuff, but for the
yeah.
other stuff, now
Some of the athletes
reason
too,
for
like they
that, the
don't
reason for
actually.
that is because the guy who made it, he didn't properly explain in the documentary with numbers like all of his talking points because he wanted to make it basic for all the people who aren't as knowledgeable on this.
Yeah.
And as a result, then
I've
it
seen a
made
lot of his subsequent talks, and I've seen a lot of people's kind of debunks of it. It seems like there is like some propaganda in that one too. I don't know.
I mean,
So
of
like,
course,
I'm
there is
totally
some. I
not
mean, there's
against like
propaganda in
vegan diets or
everything.
anything like that.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course
for
not. I'm
sure.
just saying
He
there's
was trying to
propaganda.
push a
There's some
point.
bias and propaganda and everything. And there was definitely wasn't that. But he didn't. Well, he kind of fucked up by not bringing the proper like numbers there to show. He did have them, and he went on a lot of things when people then tried pointing that out, like the Joe Rogan show, and he made them look like idiots. So I mean, there's
No, I don't
definitely
mean that
some
one, but
propaganda,
yeah.
of course, but.
No, for sure. It just kind of some of the more like the claims about the athletes and stuff that have kind of been like, I don't know, dubious.
Oh yeah, that one
seems
again. I'm just like speaking completely on the diet. I agree with you with like that stuff, like the athletes
For
when
sure.
they tried using certain stories to like prove, oh yeah, but anybody who actually watched the sports know that's bullshit. Like the Conor McGregor fight, that guy won because Conor McGregor like slipped up at the end. That wasn't he got his ass kicked by Conor McGregor for most of the fight, and then the Titans season. Anybody watched the NFL that year? No, the Titans just fluked out with other teams sucking more. It's like god damn, and then they tried to make it into a narrative. So yeah, I agree with those aspects of it.
for sure. But like, I don't know. My mom's been vegan for years, and like
Yeah.
it seems to be working for her.
I mean, I'm
and
not
everything.
really
Like
vegan.
whatever
Say
you can stick with is kind of the.
So I still eat
Mm.
dairy sometimes, but not really. It's mainly just fish. I eat a lot of raw fish.
That makes sense, man. If you can stick with it, that's like the biggest thing. Like, I mean, anybody could lose weight on any diet. It's just
Yeah.
what can you actually stand doing?
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So since we are on a tangent already, I will add more to that tangent by mentioning two things. Number one, aspartame, Diet Coke and Zero Coke. That sugar is actually worse than white sugar because it's made in a lab. So this is
Wait,
why
white sugar, brown sugar?
no the
So like
diet
the chemical sweeteners,
that
like in Diet Coke or whatever. So
aspartame.
yes, it's gonna give me cancer,
Oh,
but it's not knocking me out of ketosis. So it's a trade-off, man.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, I've never, drank or liked soda, so I'm good there. But yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that so people can hear someone else telling you don't drink that, it's as bad as the other one.
Yeah, but I'm glad also we have like conflicting or different views on here while we're discussing this. Not an echo chamber. We all have our thoughts. Like
again, really nothing's like 100% confirmed. You know, with all these health things, like they change every year. Like remember the report where they said, you know, you should only eat 6 French fries with your meal. But
French fries are
but
wrong,
honest,
bro. It's so
yeah,
bad.
honestly though, it might have been actually a true study, even though everybody memed it. Because yeah, have you ever noticed after just eating a handful of French fries, you already feel full? So you never know. But you know, everybody kind
People
of memed
try
that
and
study.
stop me. Like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe there's somebody that can do that. I just can't moderate like that. Like, I don't know. Whatever size fries you give me are gone.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro. This is why I stay away from like all of the bad stuff, because I know if I fall back, like even if I listen to Cole and only once a week, I will be like, bruh, all week. I just can't.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, orange juice. Now I may shock some of you. Maybe not grape, because I think
Oh
grape
yeah,
know
the
a lot of
sugar in
things.
it.
Yeah, it's not real sugar. It's white sugar. It's so awful, and people don't realize until they really drink like true pressed orange juice. And I work in a hotel, and I like there's that room service guy. He is amazing. He is very nice to security guards because he treats us like parts of the team, unlike the rest of the hotel. But like sometimes I just pass by room service. If he is there and nobody is around, he will give me like some pure true orange juice that the chief or anyone in the kitchen actually pressed on the
Oh yeah,
machine,
yeah, and that
and
stuff's amazing.
the taste is so good.
Oh yeah.
It's much better
Oh man.
than
Okay.
Oasis, Tropicana, and all that crap that people are
Yeah,
buying
you
and
know why it's
smelling.
so
Well,
sugary though,
you
right? Oh,
Huh?
sorry, you go first, Ray.
I was just gonna say, like, you've seen like where so that orange juice is generally stored in concentrate for like 2 years. Like, it is just not fresh. Like, it really
Yeah,
sucks.
it's actually just like soda, basically. But
Yeah, it's as bad as soda, but
yeah,
there's no bubble in it.
yeah, and you know why it's like so sugary though? It's because it goes back to the breakfast thing. Like, here's the other thing: you might be wondering why American breakfasts are so sugary, and also why the drinks like orange juice are so sugary. And this is how where it all started, and how everybody in America have just gotten used to eating sugar for breakfast now with their cereal or fucking pancakes and other things. It's because I forgot the exact story, but they just went, you know, they saw people in like Europe, you know, selling stuff like pastries in the morning, and then they thought, oh, breakfast, and then they did shit involving that, thinking like that's the correlation. I'm not joking. That's not like the actual story, but it's something like that, and I'm
No,
not
like
joking.
all of
You
our
look it up.
food trends are based off of food lobbies here. Like, it really sucks. Like, bacon wasn't a thing before, and then like the pork lobby got in on it. Like, hey, bacon is a breakfast food. Same thing with like the whole like food pyramid and thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Apparently, a lot of it was all
yeah.
subsidies from like certain I don't know, producers of
Pretty
certain
much,
kinds
yeah.
of
It's like, listen, you
yeah.
know, you guys should like really research like breakfast from like other countries, and yeah, it's like it's so much healthier, and if you start eating it in the morning, like even though you don't need breakfast in the morning, if you start eating it, then God, it's so much better, especially like Korean breakfasts or like Indian breakfasts and everything. Like it's a lot
Oh,
better.
so good.
There are others that are
As bad.
though just as unhealthy that people don't realize. So especially like Japan, like on paper, it seems super healthy, and I love Japanese food. And there is a lot of the food
It's
that
so
is healthy.
tasty, but
Yeah, and there is a lot of the food that is healthy, which I eat all the time, such as healthily made miso soup, not the one with all the sugar in it, and like you know, like certain rice and stuff and fish, but so much of it, like under its surface, is as unhealthy as American breakfast or just other meals. It's just like tons of like so many fried things that are so unhealthy, and soups that are just have so much sugar in it and everything
So
and
much
sodium.
salt. Not
Yeah, so
only
much salt.
sugar, salt, bro. Salt is
Yeah.
really bad.
Oh yeah.
Um, I will add another tangent to the mini tangent. The honey, honey, like, um, the thing made by bees. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's honey,
Yep.
right? Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, honey.
there's two types. The commercial one that most people have, and the real one.
Yeah, and I buy the real ones, and they have honeycombs in the jar.
And that's not the only
Yeah,
thing
the
they have.
real.
They freeze after at some point, and it's basically no more a liquid. It's like something solid. And the way to fix that, you put some hot water, and it goes back to liquid state.
Yeah, it just crystallizes. It's awesome.
Yeah. So this is all you
Yeah, real
notice.
honey is awesome, and there's also like different varieties of honey as well. Like there's supposedly like that medicinal one, and then there's also the hallucinogenic one. Yeah, there's some really fun honeys out there.
Wow, very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
That tangent
yeah.
was fire.
No, it's
Um,
good, but yeah, like if you ever make smoothies or other things, or even tea, and you want some sugar in it, don't put sugar in it. Put either honey or dates, and in the proper honey.
Yeah, there's actually vegan honey now that's made with apple. So
yeah. So question number 3. I will be honest. We kind of already answered it, but hey, we gotta ask it because we are Captain Obvious. Why working out and eating healthy is important? And now
Yeah.
I will be honest. When I came up with that question, I was like, we need 4 questions. Here's the third one.
well, no, there's actually different answers you can get from out of that, and I'll say it. It's because it doesn't just fix like your how you look or like your health wise, like with like diets or stuff. It fixes everything. It's like it gives you more energy, motivation. It helps your mind. It's like it fixes everything, not just that thing. Now, well, I mean, not now. It won't fix all your life problems, and there are people, and also YouTubers who have done that, thinking like that's the end goal, thinking that they'll be completely happy, no longer depressed anymore at any points. Like it will fix all the issues, and them having that mindset, and then afterwards doing it and realizes it doesn't fix all the issues, it fucks them up. I know one YouTuber went through that and is now turned into a complete lunatic. Great God X, if you ever heard of him, but however, yeah, it fixes a lot of things. Just your mind, mental state, and everything, and just so many other things outside of that. So for sure, and it's like it improves like a lot of things people like bring up when people are like trying to lose weight is like it will expand your life, but honestly life isn't about like how long it is, it's about the quality of life, and that's the biggest thing. It will improve the years of your life, it will make them better, the quality of them.
You hit the nail right. I like your answer a lot. Now I will ask to DC next. Question number 3. Why working out and eating healthy is important?
It's important because of the fact that like for the eating healthy one is because you can actually live longer. Some people don't know, and some people do. But when you eat a lot very unhealthy, you will more likely die like sooner. Whereas where if you eat healthier, you're less likely. Working out, kind of the same thing. It gets your, working out can also essentially also make you live longer. I think because of how it can it can at least, I think it can prevent you from having heart attacks, something like that. Not 100% sure on that, but I do know.
Heart disease and everything, and strokes as well.
Yeah, and all that. So that's kind of where I'm gonna leave mine, because I think that's why it's important, because it can save your life in a lot of ways. But yeah.
Sweet. I'm assuming it would be my turn to go then. Yeah. So I think a lot of what you guys are saying, I completely agree with. I think my main reason for why you'd want to do it is so that you are kind of fuel. So why you'd want to eat correct beyond some sort of diet would be, to get the proper fueling, not only for like your mind but for your body, so that you could actually exercise. I've just noticed since I've added like actually eating well and eating quality food, just the way that I'm able to work out is completely different, and just the stamina that I get and the mental clarity is just amazing. So really, I would just say the diet is for fueling the exercise. The exercise also makes your brain work so much better. I don't know. Mental health is kind of like a three-pronged thing. Like I think diet, exercise, that's a whole lot to do with it. But yeah, I think another prong of it is sleep, and they all kind of go hand in hand. And if you screw one up, it kind of screws up the others as well. I don't know. So my main reason to do it is just for overall health, but not just, so you look good. Basically, you want your brain to be working the best that it possibly can. And part of that is actually physically exerting your body. And then part of that is fueling it correctly. So that would be my reasons for it.
Nice answer, and I only caught up to half of it, and I fully agree with the half I heard. So it's funny because I got a very superficial coworker. I still enjoyed his presence. He is entertaining. He is funny. He's a great guy, but one of his biggest sin is being superficial. And he argues constantly with me by saying, "I want to lose weight to look better and be more attractive." I laugh because I know it's not true. I still argue with him because I don't want him to think what he thinks. I want to debunk it. I cannot stand by and say, "Oh yeah, say whatever you think, do whatever you think." If I want to lose weight, it's for myself first. And I have a few health issues that can be solved with lower lower weight. And the biggest example would be asthma. If there's one thing I miss from the days I was working out regularly is the lack of asthma. Because when I was working out, at first it was really hard on my lungs and on my health, but after a few months of working out, I kind of healed from asthma, and asthma kind of vanished for a few years. It came back a few years ago, maybe 2, 3 years ago, but it's nowhere near as bad as I used to be prior working out. So once I lost weight, asthma won't be anywhere near as bad as it is right now. Right now, it's not that bad. Like, I can still walk and do stuff, but it's still there. It's still there, and I know it because when I go on a family meeting on countryside, I have nasty allergy. Like, I have hard time breathing. I constantly need to go outside to breathe, and that's bad. That's because of my
Mhm.
asthma. And if I lose weight, asthma won't be anywhere near as bad.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's just like breathing problems in general that this causes that can be lost over time with this. Like, and I don't know if it was for me because of that or because of the other things. Because this issue has kind of gone away ever since I stopped taking painkillers and also caffeine. So maybe it was actually that. But one issue for me, it wasn't asthma, but it was like anytime a lot of nights I would when I lie down and try to sleep, I can't breathe properly. I can only do so when I sit up.
I
I think it's
also
hard. It's hard to breathe in, I would say.
yeah, yeah. I also have eczema. I can't. I don't know if it's a thing in English or if it's just in French, but basically, it's a skin issue where I have cracks in my skin, and it's not the entire body. It's more like the fingers and the toes. And when you lose weight, this issue is nowhere near as bad because your body is healthier. Usually, it's a reaction of your body toward like unhealthy behaviors, or sometimes it's because your body is really dried up. but then there are creams for that. But I ate creams. Think it's disgusting. I just ate it. It doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel natural. um, so yeah, I once I lost weight, that skin issue won't be anywhere near as bad because my body will be healthier. Like I think doing a diet and working out, the core good reason for it is you want to feel better, and this is why it is important. So next step is I will work out again. But right now, if I do work out at the moment, because I'm way too fat, like I may injure my knees. That's the risk. That's why I want to still lose a bit of weight before I truly start working out. Um, but yeah, once I lose another like 5 to 10 pounds, maybe by the end of this month, if I'm lucky, I will be fully ready to run again and really work out. I'm very excited about it because this is a long process. I still enjoy it because I'm kind of proud of all of the work I did because it's a lot of work. Diet and that kind of stuff. It's a challenge. I feel like a broken record, but this is the truth. Um, Next up will be number 4. What's the biggest challenge to become healthy, and how can we make uh, and how can we solve it? Um, Starting with Gray this time around.
Great. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
sorry about that. I
okay,
was
yeah.
talking to myself without unmuting myself. I think the biggest problem is just like consistency, like sticking with it. Like I was saying, like anybody can, start an exercise program. Anybody can start a diet. Like who can't like white knuckle through 2 weeks? The problem is going to be something that you can stick with and something that you can do long term. Because yeah, I've tried just about every diet out there, and they've all worked while I was on them. But yeah, it's just really can you stick with it? And I really couldn't in most of them. Most of them, it's not a lifestyle I was willing to actually accept. And then, I found the one that I think works for me, and it's kind of a combination of a bunch of things. But kind of like Cole was saying, yeah, for me, it's a little bit of intermittent fasting. Like I usually don't eat breakfast, and then I just have 2 meals, and it's a bunch of protein, but then vegetables. And yeah, that seems to really work for me. It seems to put me under the caloric whatever goal that I'm shooting for. So yeah, and it gives me enough energy when I'm working out. So yeah, I feel like you just got to find that one that'll kind of work for you.
Very interesting. I like your answer a lot. And now that I have a more unique one, I will go second on that question. So the biggest challenge to become healthy and how to solve it, I will try to have a very different spin from everyone. Even if I agree fully with Gray, I'm sure the both of you will have similar things to say. I will spin it a bit around. I think the biggest challenge is realizing it's an issue and then realizing what's wrong with your diet or what's wrong with your sport and how to solve it. Well, you need to self reflect. You need to know yourself and know your behavior, like eating pizza or drinking beer or eating this or that. You need to pinpoint something that's wrong, and you need to take out that thing from the equation, which is exactly what I did. That's the core aspect of doing a diet. That's my spin on it. You need to see it as an issue to be solved, and you need to understand that issue. Um, so, yeah, coming next, DC. What do you think of the question? I will repeat it just in case. What's the biggest challenge to become healthy, and how can you solve it?
For me, the biggest challenge is to overcome that love of wanting unhealthy food and, be more focused on being exercising and just eating like fruits and vegetables. That for me is like the only thing that's like the biggest challenge, and it's a very hard to do that because you gotta really set your mind on just healthy food. But yeah, I think that's like the only major like biggest challenge in my opinion. The way how we can solve it, in my opinion, I don't think that there is a way, because let's just say you do somehow get healthy, that's not going to essentially permanently resist you from eating like unhealthy food all the time, because eventually you're going to find that same food and you're going to eat it, and eventually it's going to develop the same thing. So I don't think that there is a way you can solve it, but maybe that's just me.
I think there's a way. Just cut it or limit it, but it's a lot of work. It's really hard, but it's possible to overcome it. You just need to work enough on that. So yeah, Cole, what about you?
Uh, yeah, well, I mean, I think there's multiple things for me, but I would say definitely, as Gray said, just consistency and all that stuff. Because I think for like the majority of people, like it isn't hard or difficult for them to like cut all that out or like yeah, and start like working out and try to get like healthier. I think I mean, at least for me, it was, but and I think that it could be the same for like most people, though. But I think that's honestly the case. You know, to start doing that and everything, I don't think it's challenging. But the thing that's challenging about it is that you conditioned yourself in that unhealthy position that you thought that you could just easily get out of at any time for so long that even like unintentionally you'll just like screw it up, or intentionally it's just because you've gotten so used to it where it's like starting to do that and everything isn't hard, but since you conditioned yourself for that for so long, it's like that's the part that makes it challenging. And then obviously the consistency with everything else as well, like starting out it's obviously easier than staying with it. And I think, obviously hydration is a big thing. I think if you drink a lot of liquid throughout the day, then you'll definitely feel less hungry. So make sure to just do that. And also like Gatorade as well, helps with
The
like well,
sugarless one, because the
yeah,
one full of sugar is really bad.
yeah, well, not ones with that. I mean the non-sugar ones, because it
Yeah,
helps like while you're working out, you'll get headaches and stuff from losing it, because you'll lose like I guess they call it electrolytes or whatever it's called, and drinking that will revive them. And
yeah.
also, obviously, once you start eating like more healthy foods, you'll realize like it fills you up way faster, where you won't feel hungry, unlike unhealthy food where it won't. So that's why you eat so much of it, I guess. And I think then obviously the last thing, which is also sort of like what you said as well, multi, is to just not care what others think, and not let them kind of drag you down, because I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of people is that there's a lot of people who are like very what do you call it again,
Superficial.
yeah, that, and just like demeaning and about it. And a lot of people who end up in this state, they have depression and mental issues. So when you do that, that's just going to make it worse. And then in their minds, because you said that, now they're purposely not going to, out of spite, and then just harm themselves. And you have to try to like get over that barrier, I think. And I think that's like honestly one thing that I really appreciate as well about that movie, The Whale, because I mean, there's so many things I could say about it, but one thing is that it really goes through like everything possible that somebody in that situation goes through, and also shows like they understand they're unhealthy and they need change in, and it also like everybody around them in that film. It's like they all represent each individual person in the world who each has their own idea of how to solve it, and you're all kind of wrong
and with what a lot of people in society think is the solution, which just kind of makes it worse. And then it kind of shows at the end what the real solution is to get people motivated to try to do it. With
It needs to come from them.
with just genuinely because that's such a fucking another false thing people try saying, like bullying people like about it. It's like it'll help them, helps my friends out. It's like, okay, maybe
No.
for like maybe for the odd person in certain cases, independent how you do it. Like I can't say everybody, but with most people, no, it does the opposite. Like they have mental issues and they have depression. If they got in that situation and they already know what they need to do and that they're unhealthy. So you just trying to say that like rudely, it's like that's just going to make it worse. It's like, yeah, you need to try to do stuff like, hey man, I recently got a gym membership. Thought it was pretty cool. Hey, you want me to get you one? And try to just convince them nicely and stuff like that. It's like not like that. That people have tried to say. So yeah, that is sorry for my long answer, but yeah.
That's fine, bro. It's fine. We are there to talk. We are there to understand people's mind. Um. So yeah. Before we cover the video of the day, Cole, I think it's the first time you stayed that long, and you will witness the video of the day. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
probably stay for this, but
Okay.
I mean, in the future, I'll probably dip out after this point and just stay for the questioning part of it because of my time. But I think I have enough
Okay.
time today to do it.
Okay. So basically, what's going on? Usually it's me, but eventually Gray will have a few things, I'm sure. DC, same things, like
Eventually.
eventually. So what's going on that part is I pick one of the videos I've seen, or I pick a video that could be interesting to cover, and we basically approve or disagree with the video. We will pause as many time as needed to make it transformative, and um guys are there to stop it if guys want to add something. Last week was interesting. We did pause a lot. That's why last week was still quite long despite just us being two. But yeah, if guys feels like it, just tell me, we will pause. Quite simple. So it's basically we react to stuff. It's not always linked to the topic. It's just that extra thing that could be interesting to cover. And this is a bit funny because we will talk about gym girls. So this week, it will be somewhat linked but not linked. The first video,
Gym girls, you say?
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
So I found a very I haven't seen the video, but I've seen the channel has a lot of followers, and this is told by a woman, so maybe we will have a different perspective on that. Maybe it will be interesting. I haven't seen the video. I've just seen it on the feed, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's have some woman talk there. So I
I
will
love how you, I
screen
love how
share.
you say that. Let's have some woman talk.
Right now I will screen share. So the link of the video is on the private chat. Um, so maybe what we can do is someone else screen share, because my computer is potato. So whoever wants to screen share, maybe DC Oracle. I'm wondering if any of you could share it.
I probably can't right now, but
Okay, DC, do you think you will be able to screen share?
No, and I'm not even using my computer.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I will do it then. Okay, let's hope my computer doesn't die on me.
I mean, I could try to if you want.
I will try. We'll try. Okay, so there we go. Okay, I haven't seen the video, but I see a woman talking about Gym Girl, And I think that's the first time I see. Actually, no, that's a lie. I've seen
Is
a
this gonna be about like those bitches in the gym who like try to like say shit about men who are like trying to help them out? But like,
Yep.
I don't even like need to hear any opinions. I already have my opinion. They're fucking idiots. It's like they'll just like see somebody like looking in their direction because they're looking at like the mirror or like the weight thing, and they'll be like, "Oh, they're checking me out." It's like, are you fucking? And then it's like they'll just be there, like, they like, do you want some help to help them out because they're gym experts, and they'll take that as like an insult. Oh, fuck.
Let's do this. This will be funny. Okay.
At it again, and this time they have a new excuse as to why they are dressing so promiscuously at the gym. Let's talk about it.
Whoa,
It's because the gyms are hot, right?
Guys, before we get into this video, a lot of you have been asking how you can support the channel.
So what did you say exactly, Gray?
Oh, I was just thinking it's because the temperature, in the gym, it's too hot. So, I get it.
Oh, my. This will be a funny ride.
Channel now that I'm independent. I have a Patreon. The link's in the description down below. Support it if you want to. No pressure. Now, there's a new gym girl video that's going viral online, and it's a young woman talking about being a woman living in a man's world, and that making her incapable of being able to dress promiscuously.
This from the get-go, I will say this. I'm so tired of that narrative. Women are victims. They actually have a bunch of privilege in 2023. Like, they will get higher paid jobs and that kind of stuff just because they're women. I'm wondering if any of you would like to add more to this.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at like 2 places in the last, like, I don't know, 7 years where both of them decided to give just the women only a bonus. I don't know. It seems interesting. I think there definitely is more privilege now than there used to be.
Yeah, and I'm all in for equality, right? But that victim narrative is just very insulting to people's intelligence, and people who are spewing that kind of stuff were they are victims. As long as you freaking complain, you will remain a victim regardless of what's going on. The best way to not be a victim is to take your destiny in your own hand. Like, if you're a victim of men's, then cut yourself from society. I don't know, man. I don't know. Stop looking around to see if they look
I'm
at
a
you.
victim of men.
You are only a victim when you let yourself be one. That's how I see it.
Yeah, these type of people, you know what they remind me of, though? All right, there was this one incident
At the gym.
Whoa,
Let's
whoa,
watch.
what? That's my potato. Sorry, bro.
Yeah,
What-
no, that's fine. But okay, well, I'll just say it quickly. This shit reminds me of this one incident that happened. It happened years ago. It's like there was this feminist who got offended and tried saying sexism was something that, like, saying that some man was being sexist to her, acting like she isn't technologically savvy or doesn't know what she's doing, and just like questioning it because she's female. All right, this was all the incident was. So it was, and she even said it herself. All right, it was some older male who saw her using 2 computers, and he's obviously probably not that big into technology or knows that much. So obviously he finds it a bit weird, as with anybody using 2 computers, and he just asks, "What do you need 2 computers for?" And then she took that as sexism, saying, "Oh, because I'm a woman, you're asking why I need 2 computers." This is the shit that this reminds me of, right? So yeah, but anyway, continue.
I'm very sad, bro. Like, that kind of shit happens a lot with my computer. Here's the thing, my computer is potato, and I feel like the mouse is kind of broken. So sometimes I just move the mouse, and it's like I clicked on the mouse, That's what happened.
That's fine.
I just wanted to specify that because that may happen again. That's not disrespect. That's just my potato computer.
Okay. So this is meant to be
What did you think of that, Jill, on the screen? Why do you think she is wearing that kind of really tight short?
Again, I think it's really hot in the gym, so it's just temperature regulation. That's the only thing I can think.
Okay, very interesting take. DC, if you're around, let us know in the chat
Yeah,
once you're back.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Why do you think she is wearing these very, very small shorts?
I was thinking it was to attract some guys, but I'm not sure if that's right. But my answer is gonna be I'm not sure.
Perhaps better range of motion.
I like Gray's answers, bro. You're amazing. Cole, any thoughts on that? I guess Cole has no thoughts, or he's speaking to himself. Cole, you there? I guess he has nothing to say.
Or his neighbor.
I can only guess and assume she wants attention. Like she's making part 1. Obviously, she wants to make part 2 and 3 and etc. etc. She wants a reason to complain, so let's make as like I can only bet if that was legal, they would walk around in underwears only to attract attention. But yeah, that's based on my experience. That's really negative. So yeah, let's listen to what she has to say about that.
sort of
But
a depressive video. She first shows her ass to the camera, and then you can see this moment of internal thought where she decides, I'm living in a man's world, and there.
So she is.
Well, she knows what the guys want.
So even a woman sees it. Even a woman admitted that she wants attention. Just saying, we are not crazy to say that some woman wants attention. Because if a woman point that one out, maybe it's true. I mean, maybe it's true. Or maybe she panders really good at her audience like Pearl does. So yeah.
Therefore, I must pull my shirt over my butt so that I don't get unwanted attention. And this is meant to make us depressed.
There's cognitive dissonance there in these gym girls, don't you guys think? Starting with Gray, do you see?
Well, I also
dissonance?
think that I would get negative, unwanted attention if I also had my ass exposed. But I'm not looking for that, so I do keep it covered. I don't know. It's interesting. It is the like, oh, look at me, I'm such a victim because of my choice. And sorry about my bird.
This today will be as amazing as last week. Cole, are you back? Are you with us right now? Maybe not. So DC, what did you think of what she just said? What did you think of the cognitive dissonance in some of the girls' minds?
I have agreed with Gray in that I obviously don't want to have my some of my private areas exposed, but not sure if I agree what she says at the same time.
Okay, maybe you have a cognitive dissonance of your own right now. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure, but yeah.
As women, because we would all be running around naked if it weren't for all the men who are on planet Earth with us.
I like her hyperbole. This is like golden. Okay, she deserves my sub. She deserves it. just because this is like 1:09 of like golden. Now, keep in mind I haven't seen the video prior. So anything else you'd like to add, guys? Gray, Cole, DC.
No, I think I'm
Not for
good.
Okay. Potato computer. There we go.
And this video was tweeted out on X with the caption, "Ask your man if he's okay with you dressing in a comfortable way at the gym, whatever it may be. If he says no, then he will be extremely controlling and restrictive. Just a tip."
Okay, I read that post. I feel like that person already hates her future boyfriend, or maybe she wants a simp or someone that lets her do whatever she wants. I don't know.
Yeah,
I read that kind of post. That's already a turn off for me. What do you
Yeah,
think, guys?
I
Yeah.
just want to quickly say I got a text message just now. My friend is having trouble with something, and apparently he needs my help. So I'm sorry. God, the one time I thought I would stick around for the fucking video, I'm okay.
That's fine, Cole.
Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That was amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Have a great day, and we will talk later, bro.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that I and her have a different definition of what dressing comfortably means. There is no way that I'd be comfortable in that same outfit. Like, to me, it would be like baggy sweatpants or something. That would be comfortable, but I don't know. You know, I guess it's just different definitions. But I would assume a lot of people would be staring at me if I wore her same outfit, so that would not make me comfortable. I don't know, just food for thought.
I like your food for thought, man. You're amazing. What do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with Gray. Like being in a, I agree with Gray. Like being in an outfit like that, just no. It's like I don't know what's why it's so hard to just wear shorts and a t-shirt into the gym. Like, what is so that's like the hardest thing in the world. Just and you had to go in with like a ridiculous outfit like that. Like, yeah.
I just think that girl on X or whatever, she is a repellent. I'm turned off by that kind of comment. Like, she will hate me. Like, maybe turn into other girls. I don't know. Girl will leave you more freedom, or maybe more modern men. I don't know, but this girl clearly has issues with men's. The one on X that does that.
Now,
kind of
this
post.
tweet and the video went viral. It got over 2.3 million views on X.
My guess is it's a really stupid video and a very stupid comment she had.
Yeah, but
that's-
the photo that accompanied it is probably why a lot of people clicked on it. Like, I don't know. I'm
You're right.
guessing.
I like your take. I like your take. Maybe that's the. Maybe you pause it and you see that and you're like, oh, let's click on it to see what's going on there. You're right. Cloud Chaser Online. That's how we could call that video she made. What do you think of that, DC?
I agree with you and Gray.
Okay.
And Misha is fighting for her life in the replies. And I think it's because people are starting to realize that this whole gym girl culture where you sexualize yourself at the gym and then complain about being sexualized by other people is getting out of hand. But Misha is not.
I think that's fact. A lot of people are most likely fed up by that. I'm one of them. Like, when I hear gym girl, I'm ready to laugh at the gym girl. Like, they play victim, but they create their own issues. It's like you play with fire and then you complain you got burned. It's the same thing. It's the same.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, there's some legitimate, like, creepy videos out there. Like, dudes are creeps, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of these are kind of like self-inflicted. But I don't know. Like, I just remember this video from like maybe a year ago where this girl was like chased around a gym by this dude, like literally like chased around. Like, I don't know. It would be creepy, like having dudes constantly stare at me. But still, I think that is when I would kind of consider what I'm wearing and where I'm wearing it to. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting.
You
Yeah,
see, that kind of thought process, more people should think of that when they wear anything, regardless men or women, because even men, what they're wearing, people judge them. Not as much because it's different. Women are more judgy, like on how tall is the guy, what's the weight of the guy, than their clothing. But even their clothing, I think they still judge it. Not as much as men, but they still do. I've seen a lot of video where women admit that they are looking at the looks of the guy, what he's wearing, that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's as present as when men are looking into women. So once my potato computer let me do it, I will do it. There we go.
Not backing down. She's fighting back with people in the replies. Let's read a couple of them. She says, and for all the weirdo guys who keep saying, why can't you cover up? Maybe it's because you sweat when you work out. Not that you would know. And
Okay. How is it creepy to?
Well, you see, it's a moisture wicking fabric, so yeah, that's kind of interesting, man. I did not think for sweat reasons is why she wore so little.
No, like one of the reasons to say he's a creep, because I've met actual creeps. Yeah, they do sweat, but that's not the reason why they're creeps. It's their personality and their behaviors. That's why they're creeps. So, yeah.
I think a creep would lurk around and say nothing and just enjoy the moment. I think this is
Yep.
how a creep would act.
Yeah.
Like coming at you and telling you, look, maybe you should think of what you're wearing. There's nothing creepy about it. I think that person has concern for you, and maybe he knows there are creep in the gym that will actually look and have saliva on their mouth for that kind of clothing. What do you think of that, Gray?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, my mind hadn't quite gone there, but yeah, I could see that.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. So the next one. Why not wear a looser fitting pair of shorts or longer one? You purposely putting on the most tight fitting thing you possibly could think of. So what if you have to sacrifice any bit of comfort wearing slightly longer shorts? What's wrong with that? I like that point. I like the first comment. What?
Well, apparently, yeah. I don't know. That just seems interesting. Like for moist or for because of sweating is why she has to have such little clothing. I don't know. That's interesting. Like I don't know. I usually go into the gym with like a hoodie, like regardless if it's like midsummer or whatever, just because I like to sweat. I don't know. I've never thought, you know, what I need is like less clothes because I'm sweating. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But again, maybe we have a different definition of comfort. So
Yeah. What do you think of the comment there? The first comment that is screen share on top. If you can see it, DC.
I cannot see it that well.
Okay. So basically, he's saying have bigger clothes that could help you out instead of wearing these clothes that are kind of short and suggestive. That's the comment of the guy. What do you think of that?
I'm just trying to process because I think I lost a lot of brain cells just hearing that comment because
Yeah. I will let you go on if you have an idea now.
yeah, no comment other than that is ridiculous because first of all, you don't even make clothes. I mean, they are make. I mean, you can do it, but I mean, most people just buys them. So I just, oh man, just, uh,
I feel like a lot of gym girls, they are not there to get healthy. They are there to get attention. Bro, the
I
tantrum
mean,
there.
yeah, if it's the ones filming themselves, which this girl was filming herself in the gym. I don't know, like the women that I see at my gym, like they're just there to work out, but I don't see anyone like setting up a tripod and like filming themselves. So
I
I
mean,
think it's just a different kind of person.
I guess.
Next up, the response she has given. You're just self-reporting that you've never worked out at the gym if you really don't know the answer to that. What the what? So basically, what Misha is saying is if you criticize people in short, it's because you never worked out on the gym.
What?
I think my brain just died.
It's true. Well, if you have never squatted in short shorts, have you ever really squatted? I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like again, I don't know why the argument would be if you're saying that perhaps I should sacrifice something that I'm doing. That means that you've never worked out. It's like I don't know.
Ugh.
It's a weird leap. It's hard to follow her on that one.
That girl, bro. No,
Oh
I
god.
can't believe what I read. Oh no, this is so wrong. Oh my.
Oh my god. Oh god, help us all.
You are entertained.
And when somebody asked her, why not wear a looser fitting pair of shorts or longer ones? She responds, you're just self-reporting that you've never worked out at the gym if you don't really know the answer to that. Baby girl, I don't know the answer to that. And I work out at the gym. I work out at home. There is no reason. And I'm
This proves is that it's crazy to response because even the person making the video is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how you connect these dots together. And she is saying she goes at the gym. So we are not crazy. I think that person making the comment on X is on another realm of existence. Just saying. What do you think of that, Gray and DC?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder if she can like track because just I don't know. That response doesn't seem to track with that. Like, okay, so if you're asking why I wear short shorts, you've never worked out before. I don't know. I guess I don't get it. You know, perhaps to each their own. I don't know.
My.
We are entertained.
But we're losing brain cells in our sanity.
I'm going to say this right now for all the ladies and the gentlemen listening to this video. There is no reason why you should be wearing 2-inch biker shorts that are hiked all the way up your butt to the gym. Wow! And you know what? Actually, I take that back. There is
I actually agree. Like they are better clothes. Like at that point, just go in underwear. That's the same thing. I don't think we should call these described clothes as shorts because they're really short. They are more like underwear. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy, right? What do you think of that, Gray?
I mean, I don't know. I guess if the gym has like a dress code, sure. Like I know when I used to go to like whatever 24-hour fitness, they would have like a no jeans, no cutoffs, like so you couldn't and no tank tops, I think even. But come to think of it, I think most of the women were wearing tank tops, so I guess that was just for men. I don't know. It kind of depends. Like I guess I'm all for freedom. Like if you want to work out in that, you can, but I'm gonna guarantee people are gonna stare at you. I think it would be unreasonable to assume that, you know, you can wear practically nothing and not get looks. I don't know. It seems like a trade-off.
Very interesting. DC, what do you think of that? When you're wearing that kind of stuff, aren't you better wearing underwear at that point, because these are really really short shorts?
Eh, not really 100% sure because I mean last year I did had a swimming class where yeah I was often in my underwears as well, but I mean it didn't really change anything for me.
Did it help your range of motion? Does she have a point with that? Maybe.
Mm, not really, not from my experience either way, but yeah.
Hell yeah, you just crushed even more like that ex girl comment. Good job, bro.
Is a reason. The reason that girls do this is because they want to show off their assets, pun intended. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And they could just be
This is coming from a woman, guys. Either she panders very well to her audience, or she really believes it and she's being honest. What do you think? Is she honest, or
mean-
is she pandering?
No, I
Yuri?
think she's being honest just because, the girl is filming herself. Like, obviously, she chose that angle and she chose that outfit to then show on social media. I think she does know what her assets are. I think it's just a cheeky way of saying that.
Yep.
Yeah. So we basically all agree. I like that. Stop playing victim if you're not a victim.
honest and admit that. I understand if you're working hard, you're going to the gym every day, you're trying to build your glutes, you want strong muscles. I can understand the sentiment of wanting to show that off to the world, but just admit that that is what you're doing, okay?
I like that. A lot of conflict could be stopped if you just admit something. A lot of change can be created if you admit something. Admitting something is like showing that you self-reflect enough to realize what's going on with you. So I really think it's interesting to see someone promoting admitting stuff. Um, I'm wondering if any of you would like to add more to what I just said.
Not for me.
Yeah, I think she summed it up pretty well. It's like, you're free to do it, but don't try and lie about it. That's what you're trying to do. That's the same reason why you brought the camera in there.
Yep, just be honest. Pun intended.
Because we all know that's what's happening at the end of the day. So to try and do these mental gymnastics to convince us that these shorts are just more comfortable, or I sweat too much to wear normal clothes, it's not working. We are unconvinced.
And I will add more to this. I sweat like a prick. Like I think I'm the sweatiest person that exists on earth. And like I will sweat anyway, and it doesn't matter if I'm on a long pant that has air. Like I can't remember the exact name of that. I think it's sweatpants. Is that the word? Is that
Yeah.
sweatpants? Yeah, like I will sweat the same amount whether I wear sweatpants or shorts.
But do you want to share that with the world and wear as little as possible so that as much of it as possible is shared with others? I don't know. Like, I feel weird about like sweating on the machines and stuff when I'm at the gym. I think that's one of the reasons why I wear like a giant baggy sweatshirt to like make sure that it kind of acts as a towel and everything. But yeah, I mean, like I would still like wipe down the machines and stuff. I just think it's weird to be like near naked, super sweaty on the machine. I don't know. That doesn't sound fun to me.
That doesn't sound like hygienic. Where's the hygiene? Is that the right words?
Yeah, hygiene or
Hygiene,
hygienic. Yeah.
Hygiene, yeah. What do you think of what we just said, DC?
Yeah, I agree with both of you.
Okay, let's move on with the video.
You know who ended up having a really good reply to this video? Destiny. And we're going to read that. He says, bro, this outfit, LMAO, this is massive cope. There are a billion other things you can wear that are comfortable that your ass won't swallow like a starving baby pigeon.
Starving baby pigeon. That person priceless, bro. I like the comparison. That's just wonderful. Um, anything else you'd like to add?
Not for me.
Destiny for the win.
Hell yeah. This is the way. I have never heard of a lift in my life where I'm thinking, God, these sweats are destroying my run. I wish I had spandex on right now. Uh, Destiny for president, everyone. Guys shouldn't be perving you at the gym, but it's honestly bothers you that much, then just put on some actual clothes. The harsh truth. Unless that ruins the 15-minute end of workout photo shoot, you have to do everything for your IG stories. Oh no! I gotta follow Destiny. I will find Destiny on Twitter. I will follow that person. That will be priceless readout. Ask your man if he's okay with you dressing in a comfortable way at the gym, whatever it may be. If it says no, then he will be extremely controlling. Just a tip. Oh my. That person, Misha. Men aren't saying that because they're controlling. Men are saying that because they don't like what you're wearing. Wear whatever you want, right? But I can comment on that and say I don't like that. You reveal too much of yourself. Like that point, just like if that person just doesn't listen to you because you're too controlling, just leave that person. I don't know. That may sound stupid, but this is toxic. Like implementing that someone desire on clothes is control. It's not really control. It's just taste. I find this distasteful when I see that kind of stuff happening. Anyway, that's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you think of that, Gray or DC?
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
we have
same. I
every
don't think.
right. We have every right to be uncomfortable. That doesn't make us controlling. Like someone controlling is someone that will threaten you, someone that will like place roadblocks. And I
Yeah.
think just saying I don't like that, it's not really placing a roadblock because you still do it. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, if you do this, I will leave you. Then this is controlling if I approach it this way. But if I just tell you, yeah, your clothes are too revealing for me. I don't like that, but do as you want. It's not controlling.
Yeah, I mean, we all have a different line. I mean, we all have different boundaries. I don't think it's healthy to basically say, like, if you don't respect or if you have a boundary for this, that means that X, like, I don't know, you're probably not compatible. Like, that would not be the person for you. Apparently, you're looking for somebody who doesn't care about that. And I think that might be a rarer person than you anticipate. But
that doesn't
I don't know.
doesn't mean the person is controlling. Controlling is
Yeah,
really
I wouldn't say that. But I think she's looking for any sort of excuse. You already saw kind of how she was responding to a lot of these. Like, okay, that means you've never been to the gym. So again, like if you're saying anything but yes to this, that means you're controlling.
she is very
I don't know.
she is very close-minded, I think. What do you think of that, Dre?
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's also kind of that. I don't know if you've read any Jonathan Haidt. It's kind of the inner press secretary. It's kind of like the elephant. I think she just has like an emotional reaction to this. So she's looking for some sort of justification, which is kind of where she's getting to that whole like, obviously you've never worked out. And the reason why it has to be this is because I sweat so much. And then, if you say no, that means you're controlling. I don't know. I think she's just like reaching for some answers. And sorry again about the bird.
Oh, that's fine. Never be sorry, bro. So what do you think of all of this, DC?
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with Gray. I agree with Gray.
Okay, and now my potato computer is doing weird stuff again.
Pigeon. I've never heard of a lift in my life where I'm thinking, God, these sweats are destroying my range of motion. I wish I had on some fucking spandex right now. Guys shouldn't be perving on you at the gym, and that's an important note. But if it honestly bothers you that much, then just put on some actual clothes, unless that ruins the 15-minute end of workout photo shoot that you have to do every day for your IG stories. I don't think I could have said it better myself. And you know what? If you're an Instagram gym girl or a gym influencer and you want to show off the product, which would be your body in some way, shape, or form, I can understand that. But
now this goes back to what we said in the past. A woman is only a commodity if she allows herself to be one. So it's interesting how even this person there on the video says, yeah, you sell yourself as a product out there. What do you think of that, Gray?
I think any fitness influencer kind of does, and I think that would be the same for the males too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
You're either selling a program or some sort of like supplement or something. I don't know. I think she's right, and I think it should be kind of known. Like obviously this person is dressing that particular way to get more attention. I don't know. It just seems weird that she's deflecting rather than just being like, yeah, that's true.
She doesn't owns it up. I think that person doing that doesn't realize what she's doing, and she's just following the trend. What do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree. I think that girl is just following the trend because why not?
If they do it, why not me? So,
did you know that there are girls who manage to be gym influencers without doing that? Just
I like these example. I'm so lazy. Like, I don't see myself researching a lot on a topic. So when I see content creator like that, I respect the work. Like, good job finding good example. So these three person there, since they are fully clothed, I think they don't treat themselves as commodities. Maybe they sell the idea of working out and how they work out. That's very interesting. I think these three examples are how everyone should be at the gym, but that's just me, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it kind of depends. Like they're still selling like the lifestyle or whatever, and that's their lifestyle. So I don't know. I still think in a way, depending on how you want to define commodity, I think they are still like kind of doing that. But I think they're doing it in a very respectful way. But I think like any fitness influencer is either selling like, do my program, you can live like me, or buy my supplements, or here's my sponsored stuff. It seems like they are kind of treating it as like a commodity because like their body is what's selling like that lifestyle. I don't know. It seems interesting. I could see the argument for it being a commodity still, but I don't know if there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah. In this case, I think it's done in a very respectful way. So I guess, yeah, that's very interesting. What do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with Gray.
Okay, potato computer. There we are.
one example here. So that proves that it is indeed possible, ladies. And I want to touch on a subject matter from the original tweet, this idea that your boyfriend cannot restrict the things that you wear when you're going out in public.
I think I already know the answer you will provide, Gray, but you as a boyfriend, do you see yourself restricting someone, or do you think it's right to restrict someone?
I don't know. I don't necessarily think so, but I think I could definitely weigh in and kind of give my opinion on it. But I don't know. I've definitely worn things that, people around me haven't approved of. So I don't know. I think it would be rather hypocritical to say that, somebody else has to dress exactly like me when I refuse to dress the way that a lot of other people would have liked me to. So I don't know. I think it's perfectly fine to weigh in, but I think, to each their own. And then I think it's just a matter of compatibility. Like if that's not something that you prefer, or you don't think that person is respecting you by wearing it, then, it doesn't seem like it's a match. But I don't know. Perhaps I'm a little weird. Yeah, I've had stage outfits that people probably wouldn't approve of. So I don't know.
It's a very interesting and nuanced response. I like that response a lot. Would you say like it's wrong for someone to put boundaries and restrict? Is it controlling
I
if
don't
it's
think
done
so.
the proper way?
I don't think so, but I don't know. I think it also wouldn't be wrong for another person to say, like, I have a different boundary than you. But I wouldn't say it's controlling or restricting. I mean, I guess by definition, like, you might be, hey, I don't like this. That would be out of bounds. But I don't think it's necessarily like any sort of negative spin that the girl was doing, that like you're being controlling of your partner. I think you're just saying what your preferences are and what your boundaries are. I think, the whole idea is to find somebody that matches those and has the same beliefs as you.
Very interesting. I like that response a lot. When it comes to me, I said it many times. Wear whatever you wear, but I will still judge you if you wear something, and maybe that won't be a match if I disagree with something you may wear, and if you don't listen and you're just like in your bubble, that's fine. I will go look elsewhere, and eventually I hope I'll find something better. What do you think of that, DC?
Mm. When it comes to stricting, I'm not that strict because I mean, unless if it's something that's gonna promote something bad, yeah, then I will be strict on that. But if it's anything like normal, I wouldn't. So I can understand, and I'm only strict when it comes to something specific. But if it's like something that's just random, no, I wouldn't really strict. But if for yeah, I can kind of see your points though.
Okay. Let's move on with this.
Or to the gym, ladies, you are lucky if a man sees you wearing an outfit like the one in this video here, and he says, maybe you should cover up a little bit, wear something a little bit more comfortable and a little less promiscuous out to the gym. Because you know what that man is doing for you? He's protecting you. And I understand this idea.
Do you agree? Is he protecting her, or is he controlling and toxic?
I'm not. I'm 50-50 because 50% of it, yeah, it could be good. Like if you want to protect your girl and, from anything and, wear like some clothes that can protect her. Yeah, that's not being toxic. However, if she's just wearing normal clothes, and say she's doing nothing wrong and you force her to like dress a little more toxic.
Yeah, I agree with DC. Like it definitely could be toxic if, say, like you're like, no women will wear pants, like only dresses for me, or something like that. But I don't know, if you're just saying like, hey, I think you're showing off a bit much, can you put on 2 layers or something? That doesn't seem like it would be that big of a deal, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of boundaries. Like if that boundary is completely different for somebody else, maybe that is a bridge too far, and then it doesn't seem like you're compatible.
I like that answer a lot. When it comes to me, I do think the guy that wanted to share that, wanted to protect the person by saying, look, there are creeps around. Look, this is revealing a lot, and this is coming from a man. So, yeah, I don't think that was controlling, because they most likely don't really know each other. That was just like suggesting and saying something out of the blue. So I do agree that at some extent that was an attempt at being protective toward the girl, and then we see what happened when someone gets protective. They are controlling her.
Yeah, that we shouldn't have to worry about men leering at us or giving us negative attention. But we live in reality, in the real world, where these things do happen. The reality is that if you wear an outfit like that to the gym, people are going to look at you. Women and men.
Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I guarantee if I wore that same outfit, people would be staring.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's wrong. I wouldn't want that, so I don't wear that.
I'm with you. I fully agree. So that person is making a lot of sense.
If you are cheeked up like that at the gym, I'm going to be staring at you. And you can trust it's not because I want to hit on you or give you negative attention. You're clearly going out of your way to display yourself. And that's not just with the outfit, it's also.
Would you agree with that?
It does seem to be a display of some sort. I think it's more for the followers, not for the actual people there. But I don't know. How do you stop people from looking when you're literally doing it so that people will watch? Like, it seems weird. But yeah, I think people are going to stare. It's out of the ordinary.
And on top of that, that shouldn't be wrong that people would stare, because that's the purpose of what she is doing. Like, she's doing it like she wants attention. You give attention. How is it wrong to give attention? Like, of course, don't come harass her. Of course, don't break intimacy and stuff. But you have every right to look there. They want that. And if they don't want that, then either they don't admit they want it, or they don't realize what they're doing. It's one of the two. Maybe both sometimes. People are lost. What do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with Gory, and I also agree with you as well. So yeah, like it would attract people, and yeah, and I also agree with you as well. But yeah.
Very interesting. I'm wondering, Tiama D-Lord, I've seen you around on Gray's channel. Would you like to join us today? I think Gray, if you'd be interested to have him on, you can send him the link if he wants to join us.
Yeah, Tiamat's awesome. Tiamat does have a point, though. There is like a power rack behind me. I have like one office in my house, and it is my workout room and where I stream from. So, good times. It makes it easy. You just roll out of bed and hit the gym.
Okay.
But even here where I'm by myself, I don't go full range of motion. I am restricted by sweatpants.
I like that response a lot.
With filming yourself, it's a multitude of things that are going on here. And when people look or give you attention, you shouldn't be surprised. And it's.
There we go. I 100% agree. Don't scream victimhood if you place yourself in that position. What do you think of that, Gray?
Yeah, I mean, just it seems weird. Like, I guess maybe you're trying to do it behind a paywall or something, but I don't know. If you're literally bringing a camera there to film yourself so that people will watch, it seems weird to get upset that people are watching. Like, I don't know. You can only do it through the glass, but you can't actually watch me in person. I don't know. That seems weird. I don't know. It does seem like you are trying to get upset at that point, but maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
What do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with Gray. I agree. I think it's just weird to get upset for something like that when you essentially started it all. But yeah.
Okay. Potato.
It's not to say that it's wrong to wear these sorts of outfits to the gym, although there are plenty of outfits that I've seen that should be qualified as public indecency. But it's just to say you shouldn't be able to.
I like that quote. I 100% agree with that. That kind of clothing should be considered public indecency. What do you think of that, Gray?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to. I would say it's up to the dress code of like the place. Like again, like I think like one of the most public one was I don't know, I can't remember what the hell the thing was even called, but they didn't allow you to have denim, and there was like no tank tops for men. I don't know. It seems like if that's posted, cool, but I don't know if you're cool with it in your gym. I don't see any issue with you wearing it. Just you're probably going to have people stare. It's just what's going to happen. I don't know.
Yep.
What do you
You're
think?
wearing it to
Oh.
have people look at you.
Yeah. What
Yep.
do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with what Gray was saying in that, yeah, people will be staring at you for all that. Yeah, I agree with what he said.
Potato. I just
To
this is
complain about
shit.
attention that
My computer, man.
you get after wearing an outfit like this to the gym. And that's exactly what a boyfriend or a father who stops you at the door and says, maybe you should go change, is trying.
What do you think of that? So a
Uh,
father or a boyfriend that says you should change. A lot of times, it comes with good attention, intention.
yeah, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if he's trying to like protect her and not like try to embarrass, or she will embarrass herself. Yeah, she's trying to protect her. He's trying to protect her. However, if it's for any other reason apart from protection, no, it's not safe.
Okay, that's a good point. What about you, Gray?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was pretty like punk and like scene kid when I was younger. I don't know. Like I was often told by my dad like change or, you're not wearing that or whatever. I don't know. I looking back, I don't think what I was wearing was like super inappropriate or anything like that. So I don't know. It could be. So I don't think my dad was doing it out of like spite for me or like to hurt me. Like he was trying to protect me. But I think a lot of it was like embarrassment for himself as well. Like he didn't want to be seen with like a kid with a mohawk. But I don't know. I think he was saying it for his benefit. But yeah, I don't know. I guess just I have a slightly different philosophy, kind of more to each their own.
And of course, my potato computer just effed me around again. So now I have like 4 different tabs instead of one big tab. Great.
That's
Great.
always awesome.
To
I
save
definitely
you
feel your
from.
pain.
And I feel like
Oh, God.
nobody says it better than this woman in a TikTok about women's protection.
We desire protection, but sometimes what we don't understand is that true protection comes with a level of control. Body.
What do you think of that quote?
I mean,
I don't agree with.
I guess it depends on like what you mean by control. Like if it is like a certain amount of self-control, like, oftentimes if you learn like martial arts or something, they teach you like self-control. A lot of it is when not to fight. I don't know. I guess it depends on what she means by that. I would kind of want her to elaborate a little bit further. I can see a way that I could agree with it, but I'd want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing.
What about you, DC?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that quote. I don't really agree with it, but I do get Gray's points though.
I will add the nuance here. So when you raise kids, if you're too strict, it's not good. You will destroy them. In the future, they will pay the price for it. If you're not strict enough, the same thing will go on, but it will have different symptoms. So if you're not strict enough, your kid will be entitled. Your kid will struggle when they come as an adult and they need to find a job and they realize that things don't go their way all the time. So you need to be somewhere in between. And when you're somewhere in between, there are things you will control. There is a set of rules you will set. And if these rules are broken, in some cases you will let it slide because people gotta learn, and other time you won't let it slide. So there's a degree of control in raising and protecting. So what I mean by there is if you put too much restriction, if you put too much control, things will blow up. And if you don't put enough control and enough rules, things will still blow up. So you need a right balance, around a right amount, so it doesn't come across as toxic or bad. Um, and maybe that's what she meant. I don't know. I'm not the person talking, but maybe that's the point she was trying to get around without having proper explanation there. So, what do you think of what I said, Gray or DC?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
I'd just
I
like a
agree.
little bit further of an explanation from her, but yeah, I think it definitely could be.
Uki.
Bodyguards are a good example. A bodyguard will make their client leave from a dangerous place. The bodyguard has to know all the details: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And the client has to listen to the bodyguard and follow the instruction that the bodyguard gives them. It's really an agreement between all parties involved. When the person who needs protecting does not follow the instruction and the direction of the protector, it puts the protector in a situation where they're more likely to lose their life.
So if you're with a man,
So, what did you think of her explanation, starting with Gray?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand it in the situation of a bodyguard, but I don't know. I don't think that's what I'd be looking for in a partner, and I hope that's not what they're looking for in me as a partner. Like, I'd rather we make decisions together, not like I'm running this operation, you need to follow me, otherwise you will be dead. I don't know. That seems a little harsh. Where yeah, it's just kind of not necessarily what I'm looking for, but I can understand what she's talking about, and I think there are certain situations where, yeah, for sure, I could see, control could equal safety, but I don't know. I guess I'm for more people being voluntarily in a situation, so to speak, not being in control.
And my guess there, the reason why she decided to clip this, maybe it's linked to the comment someone made that maybe you should wear more appropriate clothes than what you're wearing right now. Maybe that's the connection there. The person was trying to protect, and then the bodyguard example is brought. Maybe that's the link there. So, what do you think of the rest of the girls' thought, DC?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I also sort of can see Grace's points, and yeah, I agree. Just heads up, I'm gonna have to temporarily leave because for some reason Mike's not working that well. At least I can't click, so I want to just check if I'll leave and rejoin and see that works. But yeah,
Okay,
A lot
Yeah.
of times that fixes it.
yeah,
yeah,
okay. So it will be right back.
yeah. Try and kick me
So
out because
yeah,
try and kick me out and see if it works.
is it working now?
No, it doesn't seem like it is. Yeah, it's not working for me. Let me just. Yeah.
Maybe try to go on your computer. We'll still move on with the video, so
All right.
things happen, and we will pick up when you're back.
All right. Just kick me
Okay.
out for now. But
Yeah. Stupid potato computer. I hate you, computer. Okay.
man that loves you and protects you, that love and protection is going to come with a little bit of control. And sometimes that control is coming in the form of telling you not to wear your biker shorts pulled up your butt like a G-string. And you all know these will be the same girls that go to the gym, don't listen to their boyfriends or their fathers about what to wear, and then come home complaining about the negative energy that they get. Come home complaining about being hit on. Come
home and playing the victim role. I cannot express enough how much this is relevant what she said. So is it working now, DC?
Yeah, it's working now. Yeah, I think it probably was my phone, but yeah, it's working now.
Okay. So anything else you'd like to add, Dre, about what she just mentioned?
No, I mean, she's got a point. Yeah, I understand what she's saying. But no, I don't have anything really to add to it.
Don't bite the end that tries to help you. That's how I see it, and I see these person that reject any tip as that person that will bite someone that gives you an end. And this is sad because people always think they are worth better, they do better, and they are better than others. That comes with some kind of entitlement. So what do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with you, Malta. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, more victims are playing victims after placing themselves in victimhood.
Home complaining about being stared at. They tried to warn you, but you saw that as controlling and restrictive. Sometimes control is necessary to get desired outcomes. And in the case of wearing an outfit like this to the gym, maybe a little bit of self-control is needed. And even more than that, they bring their complaints to the public forum that is social media. And we're no stranger to talking about this. We've done many a video about these gym girls, but the activity continues. This treacherous behavior continues. You know what, guys?
So I got a guess on why it's working that well. It's because they like controversy. People that makes that they know it's wrong and they have a laugh behind the scene. I can only bet some people are doing it and they strongly believe in victimhood and that kind of stuff, and they hate patriarchy and that kind of stuff. But I think some of it is just because they like attention. What do you think of that, Gray?
Yeah, that definitely could be. I always am a little bit weary of I don't know, assuming someone's intention, but yeah, it definitely could be one of the reasons.
And
Yeah.
what do you think of that, DC?
Yeah, I agree with you and Cole. Yeah. Cole. Great.
Usually I would put on your comments of Tiamat D Lord, but I don't trust my computer. So Tiamat says, I mean, TikTok isn't real or for attention. Look up the video with girl that nearly deleted herself because she got crushed by the weight. Oh wow, really? Oh, oh, bro. When you want to art to impress people, you do the reverse. My Tiamat, I feel like you could be a great guest if you wanted to come. And Gray is our bridge. Um, so yeah, I will let that marinate, as we say. They were afraid to help her. No shit. She would complain and say, "Oh, you touched me. He was trying to help you out, bro." Oh wow. I cannot blame anybody that's afraid to help a woman because here again, you're a man. You don't need to help women, right? You don't need to. They are strong and independent.
I don't know what else to say about it. I get it. I understand. Sometimes you want to show off what you got, and we all feel that as human beings, I think. But you don't get to turn around and complain about the attention that you get when you do. And it's going to continue to happen, I fear. We are in this endless cycle of modern feminists doing things to bring about attention at the gym and then complaining about said attention at the gym. But you can rest assured that each time it happens, we are going to be here to talk about it because this stuff needs to be called out and forcefully. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you think about this whole situation.
That was priceless. I like that one a lot. She gained a sub with me, and I will look into her content later on. What guys thought of that video overall?
I liked it.
Yeah, I like Amala. So she was under PragerU for a while, and now she's just her own thing. But yeah, I don't know. I've liked a lot of her opinions before, but yeah, I'm not sure that we necessarily align on everything. But she does have some real common sense things that she's saying. She seems to be a little bit more I don't know, reserved than me, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting, D Lord. I will take invite one day, need to grinding in D4. I don't know what's D4, but cool.
Diablo 4, man. He's got
Oh,
to grind.
I
He's on his
see.
grind right now.
Oh,
He
I
would want to
see.
be fully present if he's a guest. That's what the D Lord does. So we'll take a rain check on that, but glad that he'll join us one day.
Yeah. You're the bridge. You know what to do. I know you don't reach out much, but you're the bridge, Gray. um. Anyway, I'm wondering, are you guys have enough energy for another video, or do you both think it's the right time we may end this stream there? I'm asking the both of you.
I
Um,
don't
Well,
know. I'm kind of thinking that might be the. Oh,
I
sorry.
was
What are you
I
voting
was
for?
just gonna say, for me, I can because I usually now that I have to use my phone right now, it's at 20%, and yeah, and
I was gonna say that kind of feels like a good spot to me.
yeah,
Perfect.
So I guess we were saying the same thing.
Yep.
We were just cutting each other off.
Yeah.
Perfect. We are making the show, as I said many times in the past. DC Gray, thank you a lot. Both of you are amazing. I'm glad.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm glad.
Thank you, sir.
Um,
You were amazing as well.
I'm trying.
You bring the class.
I'm trying. As I said, um, offers are open for December for the planning. We already somewhat got of somewhat of a planning for November. Um, the plan B, if we don't find a left leaning person, the plan B would be maybe dating apps because that's society. Um, but that's something that is subject to change. I will think it through. Maybe body positivity will actually be um, the topic that will replace the culture war if we cannot find a left leaning person. Um,
All right.
so yeah, as I said, December uh, offers are up. If you guys would like to cover any of the three pillar for any week, just let me know. We have that Discord chat for that. What do you have going on your channel, DC?
Actually got a video done today, so yeah, look forward for that for 2024. But yeah, I got a video done for once. But yeah.
What's that video about?
Oh, it's just a collection of like villains that I make. I'll show you like another video like example. They usually have some sort of like music. I'll show you in like a private, but yeah. On
Okay,
this, yeah, I'll show you. Yeah.
that's very interesting. And when it comes to me, I just hit 200 sub officially, so I
Oh yeah, congrats, man.
thanks a lot. So I plan on making a 200 subs stream. I don't know exactly what I will be doing yet. I did consider a lot because I like to chill with people and talk with people. So maybe that will involve the both of you and maybe Cole and we'll try to get around more people. It's still a project. I don't quite know yet what we'll be doing. Maybe that will just be called like the chill stream 200 subs or something like that, or we will just talk about stuff. So yeah, I never thought I would hit that. I always did YouTube for fun, and I still do. Like, it's fun. I just enjoy having interaction with others, such like you and DC and Cole. I'm glad Cole came in. Shout out Cole. Um,
For sure.
so what do you have going on your channel, Gree?
Not a ton. So always the thinkers on that darn kiddos channel on Thursdays, and then yeah, me and Tiamat actually do a news show each week. So Friday, I think,
Or the
like 4 p.m. Eastern is when we usually do like a news thing. So yeah, we just kind of take a look at the news.
I like that.
But
I don't always stick around to the end because I watch a bunch of stuff as you know it. But the bits I see is very entertaining. Good job, bro.
yeah, Tiamat's a fun guy,
Yeah.
as you can see by him chatting in. But yeah, man, this is always fun. Thanks for setting this all up and coming up with the questions and everything.
Well, that's part of the fun. I really like to organize stuff. I think this is just very fun. and guys are just amazing to just show up every week. It's just amazing. Thank you a lot. With that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed. Guys, have a great day. Take care, and we will talk later.
You too.
Potato, potato. I cannot end that damn stream.